What's up, guys? It's PopKorn, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin With Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got PopKorn.
Everything's good, man. I appreciate it having me back on the show.
What's going on, man? You got a bear skin in back of you?
Yeah, I'm hanging out in the tattoo shop right now.
And where'd you kill the bear at, man? You killed that thing with your bare hands?
Oh, yeah, on Craigslist, man. No, I bought it from somebody. It's from Mount Spokane, I guess. That's the story that came with it. But, yeah, I figured it would be something nice for the tattoo shop, right? Decorate it a little bit.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
What's been going on, man?
Shit, man, it's fucking riding season, really, but I work so much, it's hard to get out there as much as I'd like to, but yeah, you know, just putting some miles down on the bike. Actually just went and did a kind of a memorial thing for my brother Onit again, you know, so just a few days ago, so that was cool. Rode over to Tri-City.
I just seen in my Facebook memories, and it showed the thing that we did for Onit.
Right.
Episode.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate that. When I went to go see you know, the guys the other day to put this memorial thing on, I spoke to his father actually, and he still hadn't seen the episode, but we gave him the link, so he's gonna check that out.
For the people that are watching that don't know who Onit is, do you want to explain who he is?
Yeah, man, his name's Jordan Patrick Taylor. He's my brother. We were you know, in the same club together and almost in the same chapter together. We both rode for the Pagans MC, and one night, you know, one day, however you want to look at it, 7/14/22, he was gunned down and lost his life, and we lost a brother. And you know, all these years later, you know, it was nice to see the turnout, and there's multiple memorials planned from what I hear. So, you know, the one that I went to was just one of many. So it seems like the guys are keeping his name, you know, at the top of the list and paying their respects. I went and seen the site where he passed away, and, you know, they got a nice cross hung up on the fence right there, and we put some candles out and we lit them and we burned them, and, you know, we spoke on his name. Everybody shared a little story if they had one, and, you know, just, it was pretty touching to see not only the support that he got, but basically, you know, he passed in 22 and we're in 26 now. So a lot of things do change, you know, that's quite a bit of time that's passed. For one, to see people that still, you know, like I drove 2 hours to go see him, you know what I mean? And his father did bring his urn, so I did actually get to see my brother. But it was nice to see that this many years later, they're still keeping his name at the top of the list and honoring him by showing up. And, you know, I took a bunch of beer and poured it out where the last place he was laying, you know, and had a beer with my brother. And I don't drink, but I took a couple swallows just to, you know, in his memory, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like I said, it was nice to see, but the part that was the nicest to see would be like the pictures I gave you. You'll notice that the memorial that I went to was not put on by the Pagans. You know what I mean? It was put on by Los Malos Outlaw Motorcycle Club out of the Tri-Cities.
And the other ones were put on by the Pagans, right?
I mean, I'm sure they have one. There's other family and friends that'll probably put things on as well. You know what I mean? I did hear of a date that was set for them to go commemorate their brother. You know, so
he touched a lot of lives, obviously.
Oh yeah,
this many people like showing up after this long. Like, I can only hope that I can have that impact on people, right?
Right. You know, I literally said that. I said, you know, It'd be nice to think that any one of us could end up with somebody showing up, 4 years later, and there was tears shed, and and the story was told. You know what I mean? He is a legend, at least in Washington State biker lore, and because he was a pagan, that stretches all the way back to the East Coast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So his name definitely, will forever live on. I got a bracelet that I ride with on my handlebars, and it just says R.I.P. Jordan Onit Taylor, 6/3/92, 7/14/22. But these bracelets were made and passed out, at the time of his passing to raise funds, for whatever causes the funds went to. So I still have my bracelet. Hopefully everybody who was there in attendance and who had their bracelet still have their bracelet. But my bracelet's been on my bike since the day I got it. So I take them with me every ride, and that's what it's about.
So he was supposed to transfer into your charter, right?
He was on his way to take my patch. No, he was a good dude. He was definitely qualified to be the president. Everybody likes to speak highly on you after you pass, but that's kind of the difference between Onit. People spoke highly of him while he was here. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to measure a man, when we found out that he was coming to Spokane, we was excited as you could be to get a member. I mean, I said in the interview that he taught me to take my job more serious, and as a chapter essay at the time I was an essay. I reran everybody's background checks. It didn't matter that they'd already been done. I didn't do them, so you know what I mean. There was an instance where, some people in them clubs they'll hype up a story, like if you were a fisherman, all of a sudden your little bluegill was a fucking whale. You know what I mean?
Of course, man.
You know what I'm saying? And there was an instance where a guy was trying to get some, cool points. Oh, this happened and this is how I handled it. But it was a pretty big cool point, and something to that magnitude really, of course you have your brother's back, but you need to make sure your brother has his brother's backs by validating his story. You know what I'm saying? You can say somebody did something to you and definitely cause a war, but we really want to make sure that before we, push the little red button, the panic button or whatever, that the facts are straight, right?
Because you've had that happen, right?
Yeah, no, I sat in front of a camera and watched an entire day. It took an entire day to watch an entire day of security footage I watched the footage to hopefully prove my brother right, and then we was going to go help him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it just didn't happen that way. The footage clearly showed that he was a liar. You know what I'm saying?
So what happens in that instant, right? Because you want to back your brother, but then you find out he's lying to you.
So I will tell you, like, this probably ain't like a broad statement. Like, it's not written in stone. I think that's kind of like a chapter thing, how you see fit and how harsh the infraction is. But in that instant, 1%ers ain't known for being church mouse, perfect scholars. We're fuck ups, and that's what we do. We fuck up. But brotherhood is what kind of puts the cap on. Don't fuck up if you didn't. Don't fuck up on purpose, and if you do fuck up, try to make it right. You know what I mean? So when it first happened, everybody open armed him. Hey man, you don't have to lie like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that to be cool. We already love you and like you. I mean, it wasn't that gentle. Yeah, there was probably some drop in rank and maybe some issues with who's going to trust him again. But
yeah, but this could have set off a war, and it could have had some people in some serious trouble.
No, the I won't club name drop, but yeah, it was a pretty big thing. The guy said that he was attacked, and not only was he attacked, but he was attacked while he had children with him and in public. You know what I mean? So, you know, that as far as that goes, like I don't even have to be in a motorcycle club or anything. If I see you doing some violence around children, I'm definitely going to interject myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. It just is what it is, man. Like that kid needs somebody at that point, and I'll
Like
definitely.
when a guy and a girl are fighting, like
Hey,
you know,
you
couple
slap your
thing,
wife,
I'm not getting involved
but if
no
your
more,
kid's sitting
bro.
right there, I
Yeah,
promise you, I
that's a
will.
little different, but the whole
Yeah.
girlfriend and boyfriend fighting thing,
No, yeah,
I'm not getting involved. I
no,
don't. You
no,
guys
yeah. That's
handle your own.
between you and her. You know, for one, I don't know what she did. You know, she might have screwed his brother or something. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've seen those situations go really bad. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, shit. Didn't you do a story on somebody who was beating the shit out of a girl in a bar or some shit?
Well, so I ran to this dude that was beating up a girl. He turns around, punches me in the face. The girl jumps on my back. I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I doing here? The
Tried to
cops
save
come
her.
and I get arrested, bro.
Oh, that's your assault charge? No.
The cops come and I get arrested. I'm like,
Right.
what the fuck?
Yeah,
Never
that
again. I
sucks.
ain't helping.
Yeah.
No.
As far as that goes, yeah, I mean, and I was kind of trying to speak on stuff like that when I was hanging out with Los Malos. They gave me an opportunity to speak, and you know, I just let them know, like, hey, look, if you're in this for cool points, if you're in this for the wrong reason, like, you definitely should reevaluate because this is a strong brotherhood. You know, I happen to know the founder, and I know him very well, and I 100% put my stamp of approval on him. He's a stand up, solid guy. You know, he's got experience in the motorcycle scene, and I've seen him stand on business, never falter, and that's the kind of people you need out there. You know what I mean?
So who are the Los Malos?
So as far as that goes, you know, they're an outlaw motorcycle club out of the Tri-Cities area. I knew the founder since 2021. He actually used to be the president for a Danes chapter, and the Danes were a support club for the Pagans. You know what I mean? I do call him a brother. One thing that I love about Hyde is, you know, he's one of the real ones as far as brotherhood goes. You know, he's not really in it for the wrong reason at all, you know, and it's proof by putting that event on for Jordan, and it's proof, you know, we don't talk every day, but he has my number. I have his number. If he needs to call me, he does and can, and it's any time of the day or night, and he knows I'm rolling out, kickstand up immediately. Same for him. You know what I mean? Um,
Was
that's
was on
that's
it
what,
in his charter? How does he know on it?
no. So they weren't in the same thing because on it was a pagan, and
Oh, I thought on it was in the support club first.
he may have been. I don't remember that quite that. I think he might have been. He
I
might
could
have
have
been.
swore I seen a picture of him wearing one of those cuts, but I could
Yeah,
be
he
wrong.
might have been. You know,
He was in the military too, though, right? So he knew a
yeah,
lot of people.
he was really decorated in the military. I mean, we just talked to his dad about it again, and I found out that he was actually top secret. Yeah, yeah, he was underground in Qatar for I don't remember how long. His dad was telling us, but he was one of the real dudes. You know what I mean? I don't know exactly what he was doing because nobody does, but I think that's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just how unfortunate it is. Like I made the statement that there's not anybody that deserves to go. Like, you know, we don't want to lose anybody, right? That's somebody's brother, somebody's son, you know. But when we lost on it, man, it seemed like they took one of the big pieces off the board for sure. You know what I mean?
And it was all over another patch, wasn't it?
I got the secondhand story like anybody else did, right? Because there were two people there, you know. I won't say the other pagan's name out of respect, you know what I mean? But obviously, Onit considered him a brother, and I will tell you this that I don't know if you remember the story where I was telling you Onit. I went to an event and I couldn't stay, and I went to leave the event, and there was 20 people there, 30 people there, and he was the only one that ran up to me and said, "Where are you going?" And I said, I'm checking out, man." He said, "Not alone." And he runs me home, and that's after me telling him how much he doesn't have to do it and all this shit. And he just wouldn't accept that for an answer. He was really about his brothers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I told him when we got on our bikes, I said, "Hey, look, man, I'm night blind. Don't ride too close to me." You know what I'm saying? I don't want to wreck you out. And he said, I told him, ride a little further behind, and he said, "F that, we'll ride in front of you and light the road up for you so you can see," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, so either way, man, like, it was just awesome as hell to see how good of a brother he always was to everybody, but the guy who was with him the night he passed, he looked at that guy out of all them other members and said, "Saddle up, we're running popcorn home." So, Onit and that other guy, they are the only ones who really know what their relationship was like. But out of respect for my brother passing and spending his last moments with that guy, I got to give that guy all due respect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
but there was two other people on the other side, right?
From what I heard, there was three. There might have been two, but from what I heard, there was three.
But Onit unalived one of them.
No, that's not how that went. From what I heard, he did fire back and strike him. From what I heard, he shot the pistol out of the other guy's hand. You know what I mean?
And then another guy.
And then I don't know if it was that guy or another guy, but yeah, either way, my brother ended up with a bullet in him, and he passed away from it. So
did anyone ever get arrested for it?
That's what I was going to say. From what I heard, and I'd have to check and find out, there was no charges.
That's weird.
The person who shot my brother, from what I heard, was had held the other guy there gunpoint, waiting for the police.
What?
Yeah, it's tragic as. And then I find out my brother's body laid in the streets for like 5 hours or more while they do their investigation. Just leave my brother laying in the street.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. My son's named after him, first, middle, and last name. I put Bisbee at the end because we got to keep it Bisbee, but my son got 4 names now. You know what I'm saying? So. And
how's the kid's
he's
been,
not the
man?
only one that was named after Onit either. I found out when I went to this memorial. His dad said there was like 2 or 3 other little Jordan Patrick Taylors or something, so.
Wow.
They got a big shoe to fill.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like that's insane that his legacy lasts that long. I mean, it's 4 years later, right?
Yeah, but if you met him and if you knew him, you would understand. Like, he was one of them dudes that smiled through a black beard. You know what I mean? Usually can't see anybody's teeth. This dude smiled so big all the time. You know what I mean? Like, he just smiled. And when you smile that much, you make other people smile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Onit brought a lot of happiness to a lot of people's lives. You know what I mean? And he wasn't just a biker. I mean, he was an uncle and a friend and a brother to his military guys. And you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's pretty appropriate to keep his name alive out of all the people that are riding motorcycles trying to get the fame out of it. He was just going through life as Jordan Patrick Taylor and representing what that meant. You know what I mean?
He wasn't trying to live up to a standard, right?
No,
he was just living his life.
Yeah, he would make you feel like you might need to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people just have it naturally in them, right?
Yeah. No, he was serious about everything he did. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure his brothers in the military would speak on that the same exact way. You know what I mean? I've seen photos of him, man. He looks army geared up, or he looks ready to go, man. So probably wouldn't have wanted to run into him in the wrong situation.
No.
Secret Service underground. Multiple deployments. It's crazy.
Well, rest in peace to your friend, man.
Yeah, R.I.P. him for sure. Absolutely.
So you lost your YouTube channel for a short time there.
Yeah, you had to hit that one, huh?
Yeah. When are you gonna reignite your YouTube career and get it going again?